So exponential growth is a model of how things grow at a much faster rate than linear growth. So what you're going to need to recognize most of all for this is just the general formula, which looks something like this. So let's just go over what each of these terms means. Now, of course, e is your natural number, the natural log number, e approximately 2.7. B0 is the amount, the base amount, or the amount of substance you started with. B that's equal on this side of the equation is your final amount, your amount at the end of the growth time. T is the amount of time it takes for it to grow, and K is what we call the growth constant. So that's a measure of how fast the thing or substance, population, whatever you're talking about here, how fast it grows. So many times you'll be asked for how can you figure out how long it would take for this population to double. Well, you don't need to know what the actual numbers are. You don't need to know that it was going from 10 to 20 or 1,000 to 2,000, because if it's doubling, your final amount is always twice your starting amount. So this is for doubling here. And you can see by using that simple substitution, the initial amount cancels out of your equation and you just get 2 equals e to the kt. And now your equation is no longer dependent on how many people there were at the beginning or anything like that. You don't need that information if you're purely asked for double. And the same thing would go with triple, quadruple. You would just put 3b0 or 4b0 instead of just 2b0. So anyway, if you wanted to solve for the time, how long does it take to double? We just need to solve for t. So remember that in solving an exponential equation, which is in another video here, you have to take the log of both sides if the what you're trying to find is in the power. In this case, since our base is e, it makes the most sense to do the natural log, ln. So we do ln of 2. Remember when you do the ln of e to anything, you just get the power, which is kt. And then finally, to solve for t, we just divide by k. So how fast, or how long it takes for this substance or population to double is just ln2, which is just a number, divided by k, which is the growth constant. So depending on the growth constant for a given population or substance, the time to double may be more or less. So another type of question is once you've figured out a growth constant, or if you were given one in a problem and you have a starting amount, you could definitely find a final amount by just plugging in your numbers. But that's the basic setup for exponential growth problems.